difficulties. I had to reboot my computer, so we're back now. Alright, so first and foremost, welcome to the Sunday Night Hangout. If you're not a subscriber, go ahead and subscribe to the channel and hit the bell, the notification bell, so you can get notified for every video that drops. And go ahead and comment on the stream, as we do have the chat active today. And so we'll go ahead and we'll get started with the news. Alright, so let's see here. Alright, let's go here. Here we go. Alright, so as normal, we get started off with the market movers, and we see how the market's been moving. So we have Bitcoin's up 3%, Ethereum up 7%, we have BNB up 10%, XRP up 10%, Cardano up 2%, Solana up 16%, Dogecoin up 23%, Polkadot 6%, Shiba Inu 38%, Tron 6%, Avalanche, AVAX 24%, Polygon 51%, that's a big move, Uniswap 38%, Litecoin 6%, FTX 9%, Chainlink 4%, CRO 10%, Stellar 6%, Near Protocol 18%, Atom or Cosmos 21%, Algorand 7%, Monero 12%, Ethereum Classic 10%, Bitcoin Cash down 3%, VeChain up 8%, Decentraland up 15%, Flow up 22%, Sand 40%, HBAR is up 5%. I'm looking at the 7-day chart, not the 24 hours, just so you guys know. Alright, so Internet ICP is up 7% for the week, Theta's up 12% for the week, Axie is up 19%. Alright, so the new feature we're going to add today, look at some of these NFTs. We got CryptoPunks, it's up 6%, and all these NFTs are on Ethereum, just so you know. Bored Ape Yacht Club up 0.05%. Other Deed, the land deed for their metaverse is up 0.28%. Moonrunners down 0.05%. Mutant Ape Yacht Club up 0.01%. Moonbirds down 0.06%. Doodles down 0.08%. Goblin Town up 0.38%. And you have CloneX up 0.03%. My Lady Maker up 13%. And that'll do it for the NFT market. Alright, so we're going to look at a little bit of these charts, and then before we get into some of this news. Alright, so this is the Bitcoin chart right here, and as you can see, you had a little bit of you got some selling pressure come out. This is a 4-hour chart too, by the way. You got some selling pressure coming right here. The bought is RSI is coming back down to a good level. I think, in my opinion, you may see some more falling. Bitcoin normally makes a move Sunday evening to Sunday night, and then you have the Asian markets opening, awakening up and looking at the markets and seeing exactly what it is that the markets are doing. Okay, so as you can see right here, you have the 21 moving average moving, and the Bitcoin is coming down. It came down below the 21, got bought back up to the 21. Let me make that bigger so you can see that. It actually came down here and touched the 100. Well, it looked like it almost touched the 100 moving average. Alright, so what you need in this reversal, you need to see this 21 pull back up here and cross everything, and we need a golden cross, which would be crossing the 200 right here. Alright, the 200 moving average, which is way up here. So you need the 21 to move up here and pull the 50, the 80, and the 100 up with it. Alright, then you start seeing the reversal. Alright, and you'll see what I call a big rounded bottom. Once it goes all the way back up to cross this right here, you can see it around the bottom starting to form and whatnot. So, but in my opinion, it's going to take a little bit longer before we see considerable bullish activity within Bitcoin. Alright, now let's look at the 1 hour chart. Alright, as you can see, you know, you may have a little bit, like I said, it's probably going to chop sideways. As you can see, the 21 on the 1 hour chart, the 21 SMA is acting as resistance. It comes up, it touches it, it falls back down to the 100. Okay, as you can see, 100 is the purple line, 21 is the white, 50 is the red, and the 80 is the blue. Okay, no, I mean the blue is the 100, the 80 is the purple. I'm sorry. and as you can see, it's coming down to the purple to the 80 SMA, and it is hovering around that way. But the 21 SMA is acting as resistance. All right, so keep that in mind. Okay. Look at the let's move down here to the daily. As you can see, Bitcoin is still in the red on the daily chart. All right, resistance right here, 21,600 and 21,718, and you have support between 19,700. So in between this $2,000 barrier is my opinion, but you always have to do your own research. It's not financial advice, but my opinion that it is going to trade sideways in here for a couple of days. All right, maybe not the whole entire week coming up, but for probably most likely the next couple of days, unless we have a big sell-off. Look at the weekly. You see, weekly has a little bit of green, but as you can see, you have what's called a hammer right here, and you know, so that's why I say on the weekly chart, I mean, it could pump some more for the week, like I said. RSI is looking good. Alright, so let's go look at the Ethereum chart. And as you can see with Ethereum, this is the 21, so on top of the 21, as you can see, the 100 right here is the blue, and it looks like it's riding the 21 and the 100. As the 21 moves up, it's bringing price action up. Okay, now in order to see a real bullish reversal, or for it to be back bullish again, same thing with Bitcoin. 21 needs to have cross this 20, is 200 for a golden cross, and then we'll get parabolic price action upwards. Okay, now keep in mind, it's still in this descending triangle. Okay, but you do have a rounded bottom forming overall right here. Okay, so 1469 is resistance. It could push up all the way up to 1,400 before hitting resistance and falling back down. All right, but you have resistance. You have, let's see here. So you have 1, 2, 3 times right here, right? And you actually have an inverse head and shoulders. You have the head right here. You have the right shoulder, left shoulder, right? Inverse head and shoulders. Okay. Normally, when you have a head and shoulders on the opposite way, you get price action going down. So what do you think happens when you have an inverse head and shoulders? You get price action, parabolic price action going up. Okay. So if it does break up and form this rounded bottom, it may come up to the 1400 and moves trade sideways for a couple of days, and before punching through the 1400 all the way up to 17 right here. Okay, and if it hits 17, it needs to go beyond in order for it to be back bullish. In order for it to be back bullish, it needs to break this level right here of 1802. Okay, and that will form a larger rounded bottom right there. Okay, and the bigger the rounded bottom, the bigger the price action movement. All right, so keep that in mind. All right, so I wanted to get into some news today too, some things that I thought would be pertinent and that was interesting that I had came across. First and foremost, we want to wait. Hold on, that's not it. We're gonna come across that just yet. Let's see here. Let's see here.
On the industrial side, on the
First and foremost, I want to talk to you guys about one of the things that Russia and Putin is doing. All right, they are pretty much, going against the world financial system, which is run by the IMF, the World Economic Forum, and militarized by the United States and whatnot. So when the United States put sanctions on Russia, what they did, they confiscated their reserves that they had in dollars, and they tried to stop trade and etc. And they used the dollar as a weapon, weaponized the dollar pretty much with their sanctions, right? And so Putin, before he even started doing this, he had been making plans to, weather this storm years in advance. So I came across this tweet right here that was kind of basically, letting you know what his recent speech that he had this week was saying. So this right here is Stack Huddler. He says Putin just gave a speech with massive implications for Bitcoin and global macro. All right, and you won't hear about it in the Western media, which is true because they are sanctioning, or not necessarily sanctioning, but censoring all types of anything media wise that comes out of Russia or whatnot. So this was some interesting tidbits that he got from the speech. It says regarding freezing of FX reserves, foreign reserves, and assets. The very principles of the global economic system have taken a blow. Fundamental business notions as business reputation, the inviolability of property and trust in global currencies have been seriously damaged. When I spoke at the Davos Forum a year and a half ago, I also stressed that the era of a unipolar world order has come to an end. I want to start with this, as there is no way around it. This era has ended, despite all the attempts to maintain and preserve it at all costs. On the use of sanctions. Sanctions as a weapon have proved in recent years to be a double-edged sword, damaging their advocates and architects just as much, if not more. And he's talking about the United States, high gas prices, inflation, high food prices, high energy prices, etc. We see social and economic problems worsening in Europe and in the U.S. as well. Food, electricity, fuel prices rising, with quality of life in Europe falling and companies losing their market edge. The European Union has lost its political sovereignty, and its bureaucratic elites are dancing to someone else's tune, doing everything they are told from on high and hurting their own people, economies, and businesses. Right? And that's where the IMF, the World Economic Forum, comes in, because they pretty much dictate policy, economic policy, and they run the central banks in the European Union. All right. Surging inflation in product and commodity markets have become a fact have become a fact of life long before this year. The world has been driven into this by years of irresponsible macroeconomic policies pursued by G7 countries, including uncontrolled emission and accumulation of unsecured debt. Because they could not or would not devise any other recipes, the governments of the leading Western economies simply accelerated their money printing machines. Such a simple way to make up for unprecedented budget deficits. I have already cited this figure over the past 2 years. The money supply of the United States has grown by more than 38%. The EU's money supply has also increased dramatically over this period. It grew by 20%, or 2.5 trillion euros. We all hear about the so-called Putin inflation in the West. When I see this, I wonder who they expect will buy this nonsense. People who cannot read or write, maybe. Anyone literate enough to read will understand what is actually happening. So they printed more money, and then what? Where did all that money go? It was obviously used to pay for goods and services outside of Western countries. This is where the newly printed money flowed. They literally began to clean out and wipe out global markets. While at the end of 2019, imports of goods into the United States amounted to about $250 billion a month. By now, it has grown to $350 billion. It is noteworthy that the growth was 40%, exactly in proportion to the unsecured money printed in recent years. America's role has changed drastically. It has turned from a net exporter of food into a net importer. Loosely speaking, it is printing money and pooling commodity flows its way, buying fruit products all over the world. The European Union is building up imports even faster. Obviously, such a sharp increase in demand that is not covered by the supply of goods has triggered a wave of shortages and global inflation. And then here is the kicker right here. Under the cloud of inflation, many developing nations are asking a good question. Why exchange goods for dollars and euros that are losing value right before your eyes? That's a good question. So why are all the rest of these countries going to continue to put their money in dollars, and why would they continue to do that? Why would they, and this is something that I want to bring to you guys' attention, and why would they continue to buy American dollars, American debt, when they're seeing it lose value right before their eyes? I mean, every day you wake up is losing value. There's some every day, every week or month they're talking about printing more money. So where are you going to put your money into? And this is why I preach commodities as gold, silver, and crypto. Okay, specifically crypto, as this is a crypto channel, but gold and silver as well. All right, those are some of the things that I push. So let's get back to this, back to the story. Okay, let's get back to it. So we're gonna get back to the story, to the speech. Global currency reserves are at 7.1 trillion and 2.5 trillion euros now. These reserves are devalued at an annual rate of about 8%. Moreover, they can be confiscated or stolen anytime in the United States if the United States dislikes something in the policy of the states involved. This is one of the big reasons why they're trying to come up with this central bank digital currency. Okay, you heard the IMF say, yes, we want the central banks to have a digital currency, but it's not going to be crypto. We like the blockchain, but it's not going to be crypto. We like the blockchain being able to see and see everything that's going on, where everybody's spending their money and being able to turn on and off the money, but we don't want it to be cryptocurrency to where it's decentralized and everybody can see everything. We don't want that. We just want the blockchain technology so we can tailor it to what we want it to be, so we can track you, we can cut off your spending, we can do all that, just like what they did in China last week when China had the bank run when people were protesting. They stepped off the trains, went up to go protest, and their phones turned red, which meant that their money and their social status had fallen. Okay, their social status had fallen, and they were in trouble, and so they couldn't buy food, they couldn't get on the train, on transportation, they couldn't do anything because the Chinese government cut off the access to their funds. All right, that is the ultimate goal of what they're trying to do and what they want to go to. Okay, that is why it's important to make sure that the cryptocurrencies that you do invest in and mess with are decentralized. You don't mess with centralized exchanges, etc. All right. So let's get back into it, because there's more. There's more to what Putin has said. All right. So we're gonna get into it. Okay. It says global currency reserves are at 7.1 trillion and 2.5 trillion euros now. These reserves are devalued at an annual rate of about 8%. Moreover, they can be confiscated or stolen anytime the United States dislikes something in the policy of the states involved. I think this has become a very real threat for many countries that keep their gold and foreign exchange reserves in these countries. So everybody in the world outside of the West is going to stop messing with the United States financially. So what impact do you think that's going to have on the dollar? What impact do you think that's going to have on the stock markets and the cryptocurrency markets at first? Okay, it's going to be chaos at first. Market's going to fall, dip some more. Okay, then you get those prices that I said: 400 and 450 Ethereum, 1500, 15,000 Bitcoin, 21 cent XRP. Then the market skyrockets up again. Okay, now let's see here. A conversion of global reserves will begin. They will be converted from weakening currencies into real resources like food, energy, commodities, and other raw materials. Obviously, this process will further fuel global dollar inflation. There's no way around it. Okay, inflation is gonna be higher. So when I on my Facebook group, when I said back in December, when I said that $10 gas is coming down here in Texas, $20 loaf of bread is coming. Okay, it's going to be a large amount of people is about to be wiped out. The middle class is about to become homeless. A large amount of people about to lose their jobs because it's about to be mass layoffs and things like that. You know, people not paying attention to what's going on. All right. So a lot of people, what they're doing is they're like the rich and elite. They're buying assets that appreciate while also knocking the cryptocurrency markets down to put their money in the cryptocurrencies, because it's going to go back up. It's going to go back up because the dollar is a done deal. It's dead. It's dead. They're just not telling everybody because they don't want it to be a bank run. They don't want panic. But it's dying. All right. So let's see here. It says it was a long speech, but the main takeaway is that Putin expects the world to move away from sovereign debt as a primary source of value. There are 13 trillion in global, foreign currency reserves. That wealth needs to be moved into something that can't be debased or seized. So where do you think they're going to move that to? Bitcoin, crypto. That's why you need to be putting all your extra money that you have into a coin that you trust and a coin that you have researched, you know, crypto. Because that money's going to go somewhere, which is going to cause the inflation to rise even more in the United States, and is going to cause the United States to basically be a third world country overnight. And then that money is going to be in Bitcoin. And those that have cryptocurrencies, they'll be able to weather the storm however long that it lasts, because that cryptocurrency is steadily going to go up, as well as gold and silver. Okay. All right. So that was an interesting speech that we had from Vladimir Putin, that Stackholder was able to get and provide us with the main takeaways from that speech. Okay. Now we're going to go to something else. There's something else that I wanted to go to. Let me get this queued up real quick for you guys and girls. Let me see here. I'm gonna get this queued up, and let's go here. Hold on just a second. Alright, let's see here. So we're gonna go to at 2 minutes and 10 seconds. I hope you guys be enjoying some of the clips that I put in here. I mean, it takes a lot of time for me to sit here and listen to a lot of these and sift through the information, and that I think that you guys would enjoy and be pertinent for you guys, that help you guys get an edge as well. Okay, so speaking of the gold and silver, I thought this would be imperative that we brought this in so you guys can check this out. In light of what I just showed you with the with Vladimir Putin, what he was saying. Okay, so we'll take a quick listen. 2 minutes.
That's the right word, complacency. Let's not forget Sweden and Finland joining NATO. Let's not forget the China-Taiwan tension that seems to be ramping up, and in fact other activities in the South China Sea. Everywhere I look, I see stress on the status quo, and I do think that there is a measure of complacency in terms of, the war in the Ukraine has been going on for a number of months now, and people are starting to get normalized to it. I hate to say it, you should never get normalized to something like that, but you're starting to get familiar with it. And I also do think that what we have seen is a very strong, and you can see that just relative to everything else, we've seen a very strong US dollar. And so I think in retrospect, when you compare gold and how it's performed relative to the US dollar, and look at a lot of other asset classes out there, I think gold has actually performed well in this. This is something that's typical. When I tend to think about gold and gold prices and where gold's going, I tend to step back and look at not days or weeks or months. I tend to look at years. And I think the last 20 years has been a continuous strong uptrend, all the way from below $300 an ounce to close to $2,000 an ounce, with a number of incidents that have given it volatile bumps up, and then as that fear trade sort of levels out afterwards, you come back to a firmer basement. What I do feel is that we're getting a firmer and firmer basement every time we see it come off of that. And it's always a little bit higher than it was 6 months ago, 8 months ago, a year ago. And so I do think gold is still effectively acting as a good, stable store of value in times of
Now, this is the point that I really, really wanted you guys to listen to.
6 months ago, 8 months ago, a year ago. And so I do think gold is still effectively acting as a good, stable store of value in times of stress, in times of conflict. And unfortunately, I don't see an end. The way things are shaping, as you described, Putin does not look like he's backing down, and I think everyone should have a bit of gold in their portfolio in the face of Russia and in the face of China. All these tensions coming to a head. As you said, it's the worst risk of nuclear war that we've seen in a long.
Now, everybody should have some gold in their portfolio. Now, what is the digital gold? Bitcoin. Bitcoin is what the rich and elite are saying is digital gold. That's what they see as the digital gold. All right. You can take it everywhere. It increases like regular gold does. It's easier to transact. It's easier to move with you. Nobody is walking around with 10, 12 ounces of gold, but they're walking around with $100 and some thousand dollars of Bitcoin in their pocket on their smartphones. Bitcoin is the gold. So if the elite are investing in physical gold, they're also investing in digital gold too, especially when the price is $20-some thousand. Okay, all right. So what do you think that you're gonna do? What do you think that you should do? All right. Now let's go listen to what he says about silver. Let's see what he says about silver. Let's see here. Right here.
60% of silver now is being consumed in high efficiency electronics and antibacterial applications. And
year to date.
Right.
Why?
It's interesting. Silver does have a pretty heavy industrial consumption side. Over 60% of silver now is being consumed in high efficiency electronics and antibacterial applications.
60% of silver is being consumed in electronics and antibacterial applications. 60%. So wouldn't you want some silver? Wouldn't you think that that is another commodity that you should have along in your portfolio along with the crypto? What is the digital silver? It's some of these top layer 1 altcoins. XRP, Chainlink, Polkadot. Who else we got? Those Cosmos, Atom. Those are EOS. Those are the silver of the digital industry. Okay? So, in case you missed it, let me play it back a little bit, just so you can hear it again.
7% year to date.
Right.
Why?
It's interesting. Silver does have a pretty heavy industrial consumption side. Over 60% of silver now is being consumed in high efficiency electronics and antibacterial applications and such. And so we have seen some weakness on that side in terms of the demand. And so it's probably not seeing as much strength there. The other aspect is silver investors tend to be much more high beta investors. They tend to like volatility, and the entire resource industry doesn't have anywhere near as many of those investors around. I would say that silver investors, they probably reflect, a little bit more risk-friendly type of an investor, just because of its high beta, its high volatility, and even in the general mining space, base metals or gold, we just see a real lack of investors at that higher risk end of the spectrum, and I think silver's probably suffering from that a bit.
Well, on the industrial.
So as you can see, it seems to me silver would be something that I want to look into as well, to diversify my portfolio. Okay. Now we're getting into some more news. All right. Just to solidify what Vladimir Putin was saying in his speech, you have here the Economic Times News: BRICS working on new global reserve currency and alternative mechanism for international payments. All right, and this article was updated 3 days ago. 3 days ago, Putin, and if you're not familiar with the BRICS nations, okay, it's Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. Go look at the population of those countries. Go look at those economies. Okay. Go educate yourself on the BRICS nations and see why this is a real threat to the Western hegemony, Western financial hegemony. Okay, so let's read a little bit of this article. It says President Putin said on Wednesday that the BRICS countries are currently working on setting up a new global reserve currency. So if they're setting up a new global reserve currency, and a lot of these are oil-producing countries, and then if OPEC aligns with them, you can say bye-bye to the dollar. You can say bye-bye to the American way of life. You can say bye-bye to the Western way of life, pretty much. I mean, third world country. The issue of creating an international reserve currency based on the basket of currencies of our current countries is being worked out, he said at the BRICS Business Forum. According to the Russian president, the member states are also developing reliable alternative mechanisms for international payments. Earlier, the group said it was working on setting up a joint payment network to cut reliance on the Western financial system. The BRICS countries have also been boosting the use of local currencies in mutual trade. See, they're already using the local currencies and trading amongst each other. What's to stop them from using Bitcoin or XRP to settle the trade? Okay. So that's big. I wanted to bring that to you. You know, so if you guys think that it's not happening, you're thinking that it'll take a couple of years. No, they've been working on this for the last, 5 to 10 years. They're ready to implement this now. So when they implement it, then what do you think is gonna happen? Especially when Russia just flats out say, listen, we taking Russian rubles, we taking yuan, and we taking Bitcoin. If you want Russian oil, okay? And let's see how much. Let's see. Russia's oil output. Russia export. Russia is the biggest exporter of oil and products to the European Union and NATO. 2.2 million a day. Let's see here. Does Russia produce a lot of oil? They're the sixth largest oil reserves. The second largest coal reserves. Not to mention that they're the largest fertilizer. They produce the world's fertilizer exports. Who's the largest fertilizer producer? China, India, United States, Russia. But the United States has been cutting back on that. So that's that. So up next in more news, we had hackers steal $100 million from California cryptocurrency firm. All right, if you guys haven't heard about that, this was hacked, and I don't know how the hell you can get hacked for $100 million, and you a cryptocurrency firm. And if I'm not mistaken, this was their entire market cap. Hackers have stolen the equivalent of $100 million from a California-based cryptocurrency firm in the latest big money hack in the digital currency industry. The identified thieves hit a bridge, a program that allows the transfer of cryptocurrencies. Let me see. Allows the transfer of cryptocurrencies. The victimized firm Harmony announced on Thursday night. Harmony is working around the clock as we continue in our investigation alongside the FBI, multiple cybersecurity firms, said the firm, which specializes in blockchain technology that underpins the cryptocurrency transactions. Harmony joins a long list of cryptocurrency firms that have been plundered by hackers for many millions of dollars at a time. This year alone, hackers have stolen over $1 billion from cryptocurrency bridges, according to Elliptic, I guess that's how that's supposed to be sound, a firm that tracks transactions on the blockchain. Cryptocurrency bridges are prime targets for hackers, Elliptic said, because they store large amounts of liquidity. It's unclear who looted Harmony's digital coffers. The FBI in April blamed North Korean government-backed hackers for roughly $600 million hack a popular video game company. Now, that being said, remember this: $100 million in crypto has been, was taken from this cryptocurrency firm, right? Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind, and remember in the next couple of articles, okay? Because that's going to be an entry point for Wall Street. So up next, we got Ripple News. Japanese Megabank acquires Ripple partner SBI Holdings. And this is why all the people who are bringing photo XRP really don't know what the hell they're talking about, because XRP will be used as a bridge currency and remittances, along with XLM as remittances. And the next crash, I bought some more XRP, and the next crash, I am buying even more. Okay, because as soon as this lawsuit is over, XRP is going to have double digits. All right, without a shadow of a doubt. The lawsuit's going to end, and it's going to be like a light switch is turned on, and you're going to see double-digit XRP numbers, and it's going to be too late because people are going to be like, what the hell? How the hell did this happen? What the hell happened? Okay, and it's going to be great because I have big bags of XRP, and I want to continue adding to them because, that's what's going to make me a millionaire. Multiple millionaire. Well, one of the cryptos is going to make me a millionaire. The other one's going to be fake. Alright, so John Deaton just shared a new update that could likely affect the evaluation of Ripple and further increase mainstream adoption of the blockchain project. Deaton shares that Japanese bank Simoto Mitsui Financial Group just acquired a major stake in the company SBI Holdings, which is known to be a major owner in XRP. SBI Holdings and Ripple have a well-rounded partnership where even the president of SBI Holdings has served on the Ripple's board for 2 years. The acquisition of a large stake of SBI Holdings by the Japanese bank was estimated to be around $590 million and could likely mean major changes, and the company will start to use XRP in the future. Okay, I repeat, the acquisition of a large stake of SBI Holdings by the Japanese bank was estimated to be around $590 million and could likely mean major changes in the company will start to utilize XRP in the future. So, I'm looking you right in the camera and telling you, I'm buying XRP right now. I'm going to continue buying XRP. If it dips some more, I'm going to buy me some more XRP. You don't have to do what I do. Okay, do your own research. But if you tune in to me, then and you listen to and watch the videos that I produce, then you pretty much have a good reason of why you probably should have a little XRP if you don't have it. First of all, it's worth specifying that the intention of SMFG, whose assets are estimated at $2.2 trillion, to purchase a 10% share in the business of SBI Holdings, is aimed at strengthening its position in the securities service market. The deal, if it is concluded, is a continuation of the 15-year history of cooperation between the two eminent Japanese financial corporations. It is also worth noting that two conglomerates have even had a joint investment in one of Ripple's products, RippleNet MoneyTap. Perhaps the deepening relationship between the two Japanese financial giants is the ground preparation for more widespread adoption and use of blockchain technology and cryptocurrencies in the life of Japan. Okay. Now, next up, I wanted to bring you some Litecoin news. It says, as Bitcoin scales with Lightning Network, what role does Litecoin have to play? All right, and it's saying pretty much that Litecoin could be the silver to Bitcoin as gold. Is pretty much the gist of the article. Which in my opinion, I think there'll be a couple of them, but I could also see as Litecoin joining the fray as its fast payment system is. It's faster than a lot of the other cryptocurrencies, and its market is being used quite often. Okay, and just to to give you the context of the article real quick, it all can be summed up right here in this quote right here. It says the silver and gold analogy makes a lot of sense when you look at the most used coin for payments. Bitcoin still has a market share, but Litecoin is the second most transacted digital currency for payments, said Litecoin Foundation. So that is true. Litecoin is the second most transacted digital currency used for payments. So people are using Litecoin already for payments. So it could be that Litecoin actually acts as the silver to the Bitcoin gold. Some of my sources have told me that the price for Litecoin all-time high is $1,000 per coin. So I actually mine Litecoin. So I buy a little bit here and there, but majority of my Litecoin I mine myself on one of my miners. Okay, so I just wanted to bring this right here to you guys. So that's something that you might want to pay attention to and do some more research into, and try to see if that's something that you guys want to actually put some of your money into. All right, now. The big news of the week was Celsius, right? So Celsius, if you're not familiar with Celsius, it's a lending platform, okay, where people were loaning, yield farming, and etc. Right? So they ended up, pretty much going bankrupt. Our money did not have enough funds to cover the assets on there. Did not have enough assets to cover, loans or whatnot, and so they're pretty much going under. And if they file for bankruptcy, you have Wall Street, which is trying to buy it up. And this just like Wall Street. This is how Wall Street gets into markets, the new emerging markets. They wait for shady companies to struggle and bankrupt, and then they come in and swoop in and buy it up. And then now they have an entry, they have a foot into the new markets which was made to initially keep them out of. So this is something that you might want to look into, because you do not want Wall Street players to have a foothold in this market with an exchange that's already been known and that people already use. All right. So let's see what this says. Goldman Sachs, leading investor group to buy Celsius assets. sources say. Wall Street firm is seeking $2 billion in commitments from investors to buy distressed assets at steep discounts if the crypto lender goes bankrupt. All right, so that's the other thing. Goldman Sachs is looking to raise $2 billion from investors to buy up distressed assets from troubled crypto lender Celsius, according to two people familiar with the matter. The proposed deal would allow investors to buy up Celsius assets at potentially big discounts in the event of a bankruptcy filing, the people said. Goldman Sachs appears to be gauging interest and soliciting commitments from Web3 crypto funds. Funds specializing in distressed assets at traditional financial institutions with ample cash on hand, according to a person familiar with the situation. The assets, most likely cryptocurrencies, having to be sold on the cheap, would then likely be managed by participants of the fundraising push. Celsius has tapped restructuring advisory firm Alvarez and Marsal, the Wall Street Journal reported Friday afternoon. Goldman Sachs did not respond to a request for comment. Celsius, which had more than $8 billion lent out to clients, so they had $8 billion lent out to clients and $12 billion in assets under management as of May this year, abruptly announced on June 12th that it would stop withdrawals from its platform, citing extreme market conditions. So on June 12th, they told everybody, hey, listen, we have extreme market conditions, so we're not going to allow you to withdraw any type of funds. We're not going to allow you to pay off on your loans or any of that stuff. We are totally freezing everything. All right. The disclosure exuperated those conditions, briefly sending Bitcoin's price below 20,000. In addition to Alvarez and Marsal, Celsius was tapped restructuring attorneys from law firm Aiken, Gump, Strauss, Howard, and Field. The Wall Street Journal reported earlier this month global investment bank Citigroup has also been enlisted by Celsius to advise on possible solutions, including an assessment of an offer from rival crypto lender Nexo. Citigroup and Aiken Gump have both recommended Celsius file for bankruptcy, according to people familiar with the matter. And so that's where Goldman Sachs comes in. You already know Goldman Sachs is corrupt. They are corrupt Wall Street, and so we don't really want them to actually buy this up. All right, we really don't want them to do that. And so that's what leads into this article. Bitcoin billionaire Sam Bankman-Fried bails out embattled crypto firms BlockFi and Voyager. All right, so if he didn't do that, then you would probably have Wall Street coming in trying to bail these two guys out and take over the company. And then now we have the same the same old guard financial players now into the new financial system, bringing the same manipulated tactics and everything into this new system. Okay, and that's why you do not want that to happen. FTX Bankman-Fried's crypto exchange agreed to provide crypto lender BlockFi with $250 million revolving credit facility. Alameda Bankman-Fried's quantum trading firm committed $500 million to financing Voyager Digital, a crypto brokerage. And Bankman-Fried has emerged as something as a savior for the $900 billion crypto market as it faces deepening liquidity crunch. Alright, so with no central bank willing to come to the rescue, and that right there says a mouthful. Because what did we have when Obama was president? He came out and the central banks came and rescued the businesses and the companies, and we had to pay for it, right? Okay, so that's one of the things that is good about crypto. But if these financial players like Goldman Sachs and the rest of Wall Street is able to come in and take over these companies and bail them out, then I mean it's all bad. Beleaguered crypto companies are turning to their peers for help. Billionaire crypto boss Sam Bankman-Fried companies have signed deals to bail out two firms in as many weeks: BlockFi, a quasi-bank, and Voyager Digital, a digital asset brokerage. Bankman-Fried's crypto exchange agreed Tuesday to provide BlockFi with $250 million revolving credit facility. So they have revolving credit. Bankman-Fried said the financing will help BlockFi navigate the market from a position of strength. We take our duty seriously to protect the digital asset ecosystem and its customers. It comes after BlockFi said earlier this month that they would lay off 20% of its staff. Meanwhile, a report from the Block said earlier that BlockFi was in talks to raise funds in a deal valuing the firm at $1 billion, down from $3 billion last year. Zach Prince, BlockFi co-founder and CEO, said the deal with FTX was worth more than just a round of debt, adding it unlocks future collaboration and innovation between the two firms. Right? So it says the deal with Alameda and Voyager consists of 200 million credit line of cash and USDC stablecoins, as well as a separate 15,000 Bitcoin revolving facility worth approximately 300 million in current prices. A plunge in the value of digital currency in recent weeks has resulted in numerous key players in the space facing financial difficulty. All right. Now, you see, he just said that he's going to bail out BlockFi and Voyager, right? Right. So now, who do you have here? We just had Goldman Sachs. Goldman Sachs here said that if Celsius files for bankruptcy, we'll buy it. We have $2 billion with a B to buy it. Sam Bankman-Fried, he just gave two crypto companies 500 million, one 500 million, and another one 900 billion. Okay, so now what do we have here? Morgan Creek, another Wall Street firm, is trying to counter FTX's Sam Bankman-Fried's BlockFi bailout. So what I just read to you right here about him offering to get in, they want to counter because they want control over it too. They want to get into it too. But remember, what was Wall Street telling you guys? Oh, crypto's bad. All the bankers say crypto's bad. Everything's bad, right? But now they crash the markets, right? Manipulate the markets to crash the markets and have all these companies potentially go bankruptcy, and then now they're like, okay, we're the savior. We're here to help. All right. That's how it goes. That's how it goes. And so we don't want these people to come in here, man. We don't, because they're going to come in and do the same thing that they do to the stock market into the crypto markets. All right. FTX 250 million credit facility offer, if linked is initially proposed, stood to effectively wipe out all BlockFi shareholders, including Morgan Creek Digital, the firm told its investors. So apparently, if FTX gives them 250 million credit, it's going to walk out these Wall Street people who invested into BlockFi and the rest of the BlockFi shareholders. So that's like, kind of like a power move that Sam Bankman-Fried is doing, kind of like what Elon Musk is doing to Twitter. So currency investment firm Morgan Creek Digital is attempting to raise $250 million from investors to purchase a majority stake in crypto lender BlockFi. A leaked investor call from Tuesday reveals Morgan Creek plan to rapidly assemble an equity offer was hatched in response to crypto exchange FTX Tuesday morning announcement that it would extend $250 million credit line to BlockFi. Morgan Creek Digital declined to comment. A person with knowledge of the effort said there are multiple venture capital funds that are exploring ways to provide equity financing to BlockFi as the ledger struggles to stay afloat. At stake is the ability of BlockFi's existing shareholders, including longtime backer Morgan Creek, to recoup their investments. I've been making calls all day, alright, said Mark Yusuko. According to Yusuko, the FTX credit line proposal had a catch for BlockFi's existing shareholders. It gave FTX the option to buy BlockFi at essentially zero price. If FTX were to exercise said option, it would effectively wipe out all of BlockFi's existing equity shareholders, including management and employees with stock options, as well as all equity investors in the company's previous venture rounds. However, Yusuko said in the leaked call that BlockFi founders Zach Prince and Floyd Marquez had a valid reason for preliminary accepting the terms on the several emergency financing offers BlockFi received. FTX was the only one that would not subordinate client assets to the rescuer. In other words, unless BlockFi went with FTX, its depositors would have had to wait in line behind the new lender to be repaid. Additionally, BlockFi had not received any equity financing options at that stage. Okay, so BlockFi CEO Prince tweeted, "The company has signed a preliminary term sheet with FTX." Yusuko told investors on the leaked call that day that FTX and BlockFi were probably 3 days away from signing a definitive agreement. Okay, we are still negotiating. The terms of the deal and cannot share more information at this time. A BlockFi spokesperson told CoinDesk on Saturday, "We anticipate sharing more on the terms of the deal with the public at a later date." FTX did not respond for requests. All right. So one of the things that to take away from this, it says that on the leaked call that in the event that FTX exercises options after extending the credit line, only investors in the most senior tranche of the company's latest raise would get back anything. and even that would amount to pennies on the dollar. So Morgan Creek, this potential Wall Street venture capitalist firm, participated in several funding rounds for BlockFi, and so they would be in one of the ones holding the bag. So that's why they were trying to like, hold on, we need to try to counter this. You know, we got money in this right here. We can't lose all this, Jack. We got to get this back. We got to do something about this. You know, we you know, he's pulling a corporate takeover. You know what I'm saying? A hostile takeover. We can't have that. No. So on a recorded call with CoinDesk Reviews offers a rare window into the closed door negotiations to rescue BlockFi, one of the crypto industry's largest lenders. Amid a meltdown of digital assets and broader financial markets, it also shows how current turbulence echoes past financial crisis, with Yusko comparing FTX's rescue package to the bailout of the Knickerbocker Trust in 1907. All right. So, and it says, and then they go on to talk about Goldman Sachs too. It says Goldman Sachs has been trying to organize an investor group to scoop up assets of another troubled crypto lender, Celsius. So they're trying to get all these lending platforms so they can incorporate that into the banking system. All right. So I can already see where this is going. On Friday, the Wall Street Journal reported that FTX was in talks to acquire an equity stake in BlockFi, and it's unclear whether new developments since Tuesday have changed negotiations. All right, so that's one of the things that you know, you guys want to keep a big eye on. You know, the Wall Street firms trying to bogart, you know, one of the street terms we use, bogart their way into the crypto financial system and the new financial system as a whole. Alright, so the last news I wanted to bring to you guys, because I am also a miner, okay, and I don't know if you guys are a miner too. If you're not a miner, it's something that you might want to look into, and building you a mining machine is not that actually difficult to build. You can find YouTube videos and instructions on how to build them. I think the next mining machine that I build, I'll probably create a video of it and post it for those who are looking to know how to build those actual machines. Okay, but I wanted to let you guys know that crypto miners are dumping tons of GPUs, so maybe you can finally get one. You know, you can probably get you a good mining couple of GPUs, and it won't cost you as much as it would during the bull markets. All right, so if whether you're a PC gamer or you're just a miner, I just wanted to bring to your attention that now is the time that you will want to get you some GPUs. And this is a GPU. If you're not familiar with what a GPU is, it is a graphics unit, okay? And so that's what it does. It allows your screen to display whatever is on your computer hard drive, okay? And it also, if you have a powerful enough, it will mine certain cryptos for you. So I wanted to bring that to you guys. I wanted to show this to you, and all the subscribers and all you guys that are not subscribed, and everybody that's tuned in, and for those who will watch this afterwards, I appreciate everybody that tunes in, everybody that subscribes, everybody that follows. Go ahead and hit that notification bell, and you can get the next video. And until the next video, you know, I have some more news and action-packed news for you guys. I'm gonna start trying to do this every Sunday at 6:15 Central Standard Time, so that way we have some type of routine going, and you'll know what to expect, and we'll have some type of schedule going that way. So 6:15 every Sunday. We have Monday. We have the Mirror. We have actually the Gamers Only Monday, with the game that we play is Mirror. Alright, so if you're a gamer, or if you have family members that are into the gaming, you can have them tune in and show them how to play to earn games, earn cryptocurrency for actually playing the game, and convert that into the WeMix currency. Okay, we will start putting out more videos, more coin hunter videos, more TA technical analysis videos, more live streams. The radio station will be live here in a couple of weeks. Along with the radio station, we will have the website up for the clothing line and the clothing brand. I don't want to reveal that just yet, but it will be crypto related. So all my crypto heads, we'll have a crypto related clothing line. And just want to give appreciation to everybody that has tuned in and that's part of the channel. We will have, you know, wallet links for donations and cash apps for donations for all those that are willing and want to donate to help the channel grow. Alright, I think in the next couple of weeks you guys will be happy because I have some new additions to the channel and to the live streams, some new graphics and etc. as the channel is growing. Alright, so everybody enjoy.